What's up, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play, the series where I interview other Let's Players and showcase them on my channel. I'm your host, PixPerfect, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm the WanderingGamer.
Alright. So, what do you do on your channel?
On my channel, I do, I do a bunch of different, Let's Plays. I Let's Play just a bunch of different games. And also I've got, quite a lot of other plans for my channel, not just doing Let's Plays, but also doing more in-depth edited videos on different topics in gaming.
Oh, cool. So, when did you start making videos?
Well, I've are you talking about when did I start making Let's Plays, or when did I start making videos in general?
Well, maybe you can answer both, actually.
Okay. Well, I started really seriously making Let's Plays about 2 years ago. I just made a couple Let's Plays and made about like 4 of them, and kind of put it down for a few months, and then picked it back up. And I was really gung ho with doing it on my old channel, and I made quite a few of them, but I was really planning on sticking with it. Then I ended up having to get admitted to the hospital, and then I got kicked out of my apartment, and then just a whole bunch of life stuff just happened that I just really couldn't stick with it for a while. I just really couldn't stick with it, and so now I'm at a point where I can really stick with it and record and really just dig into this sort of thing. But I've been making videos since like YouTube first started.
Well, so what makes your channel different from all the other oceans of Let's Players and gaming videos?
Well, right now it's just me doing Let's Plays, and I try to, just bring my own unique spin to things just by being myself, and just trying to be as energetic and as possible without being just, too ridiculous, I guess, because I guess there's a level of ridiculousness, and then there's a level of just entertainment. I don't just get as close to the mic and scream in it like crazy. I do scream sometimes, especially on one of my videos, but I just try to be engaged in the game, and engaged in just keeping my mindset on that, hey, I am doing this for an audience. So I try to pretend like there's like 2 or 3 people sitting on a couch with me playing a video game at the same time. But in about a month or two, I'm going to be making more different types of videos instead of just Let's Plays. So I hope that will bring a more of a unique spin to my channel.
Very interesting. So, you're making all these videos and such, but imagine if YouTube shut down for some reason. What exactly would you do next?
Well, if all of a sudden YouTube just was not a thing anymore, God forbid.
Yeah.
Then that's a very interesting question. If YouTube was not a thing anymore, then there would be definitely another service that would come up and fill the void, if you will, because just internet. YouTube has really created a very unique structure on the internet that it's not going to go away. It might change form, but I don't think it's going to go away. We may, in a few years from now or so, we may not be on YouTube, but we may be on something else. Now, I'm not saying that's anywhere in the near future, because there is no indication of YouTube going anywhere. But if there was no way to upload videos whatsoever at all, then I just go back to the basics and just make a website and get my own server and just start uploading videos of my own.
Alright, so we're going to sort of switch topics here, but what consoles do you have, and which is your favorite?
Consoles? Right now, all I have is a PlayStation 3 at the moment. And I've been playing Destiny on it. My favorite console... Oh gosh. I guess my favorite console of all time would be the Nintendo 64. Yeah. Just because some of my most favorite games are on there, but right now I'm predominantly a a PC player.
Alright, PC. That's pretty good. You have a Steam?
I do.
Alright. So, what kind of motivates you to play games, mostly do Let's Plays?
Well, my motivation to play games, or my motivation to play Let's Plays?
To play Let's Plays.
Well, let's see here. I think of it kind of this way. You know, I said my favorite console was the Nintendo 64. Did you have a Nintendo 64? Or
I never had a Nintendo 64.
Or did you have a? Okay, did you have like a console from that like era of gaming, like a Super Nintendo or a PlayStation or a Sega?
I wish. I usually get like the re-releases of all those Virtual Console.
Okay, I can remember like a point in my in my younger life where being a young kid, you kind of had to rely on your parents to buy you a game. You know, a new game came out, and you either got it or your friend got it. And what you would do is, like, if your friend got it, then you'd be like, "Hey, Mom, I want to go over to Johnny's house and I want to watch him play GoldenEye." Or, if he has another controller, I want to go over there and play GoldenEye. Or, say, like Banjo-Kazooie or Super Mario 64. So, in my mind, Let's Plays are kind of like the evolution of that, where it's, not just where, I'm not going over to Johnny's house anymore to watch a game with them, but, I'm uploading videos up on the internet, and, like, anybody can come and watch that. I can remember when I played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I was playing through it, and then like about halfway through my play session, my cousin started coming over every Sunday, and he would just come over and he would want to watch me play Ocarina of Time. And then when we found out that Majora's Mask was coming out, he was like, "Are you going to get it? If you get it, can I come over and watch you play through that game again? Because we had so much fun playing through Ocarina of Time." And I remember the first day that I got Majora's Mask, my mom was there, my cousin was there, I think another one of my cousins was there, and basically I was Let's Playing for all of them. And we were all just in the same room together, we were all playing Majora's Mask together. So, I mean, in my mind, that's just kind of like what, Let's Plays have evolved into,
Yeah, I very much agree with that. Let's Plays, I usually do them mostly because at first it was sort of like something I did to show off to my friends, but then it sort of evolved. After watching other Let's Players do it, I decided to up my content, be sort of like them.
Oh yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I remember, like right after the YouTube kind of started out, I didn't have a really good computer setup, but I thought it would always be cool to just... I always was like, oh man, it'd be so cool if I could just like play through a game and have something just like recording it, and then like if people could like come and watch me do it and stuff like that. And then like I can remember like in 2006 or 2007 I was thinking that, and I'm like, oh man, I would love to do that, but man, who would want to watch that? That's just silly. And then now here we are with like there's all kinds of other like really famous Let's Players out there, So I was like, well, I kind of kick myself now because I'm like, well, maybe I should have just went with it.
Yeah, I mean, throughout my years of Let's Playing, well, like 2 years, I guess. Can't really say years. I haven't done it for that long. I've kind of noticed the comments, though. Those are one of the things that I don't like. So I kind of want to know what frustrates you the most about making Let's Plays or gaming content in general.
What frustrates me the most? What frustrates me the most is just trying to get out there right now. Is like on my older channel, because I just I literally just posted like my first video on my new channel like 2 days ago. So I guess what really frustrates me is that on my older channel, I was getting out there a little bit more. Like my first video on my old channel, I think if I go and look at it right now, it's got like 5,000 views on it or something. Now, a lot of those are just like legacy views, but it was getting, pretty, the views weren't just slowly coming. I mean, I'm not saying it's got like, 10,000 views. In my mind, if I got up to like 1,000 views, like that's like, whoa, that's crazy. But the most frustrating thing for me for right now is just trying to find avenues to kind of like separate yourself and make yourself stand out from just everybody else. Because, if you go over to like other forums and stuff like that, it's just like inundated with other people trying to put out their Let's Plays, which is awesome because there's a lot of really awesome, not so well known Let's Players out there. But it can be, I mean, it's really competitive. It's really, it's really hard, but it's fun at the same time because that competition is really fun. I totally get what you're saying about the YouTube comments, but I really don't, like, if I get a bad comment or something like that, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. If they're trying to, give some constructive criticism, then I will most definitely take that into consideration, of course. But I mean, hey, if somebody's gonna leave a nasty comment, I just kind of let it roll off my back. I'm like, I'm not worried about it. You're just a bunch of text on a screen.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with the comment itself. Sometimes I usually go onto pages and I see a bunch of fanboys, and it's sort of strange to see like Let's Players having fans and they're all attacking each other. Like PewDiePie, he has his fans and they are pretty vicious, or they used to be. I haven't seen them now. But yeah, those were one of those things that bothered me a lot.
Well, he recently disabled comments, right?
He did?
Yeah, last week PewDiePie disabled his was it last week or the week before? I don't remember, but he disabled his comments on all of his videos.
Oh. That's a nice thing. But are there anything that you could change about the Let's Play community?
Oh gosh. Is there anything I could change about the Let's Play community? I don't know. That's a very good question. I need to think about that. There is I guess one thing that I would like to change. I just wish it was a little bit more recognized.
Yeah.
I guess. Because even, I've even seen some, far more popular Let's Players have a hard time, talking to people about what they do. Even not just Let's Players either, but just people who just make a living posting content to YouTube or live streaming or stuff like that. And I've heard this especially from a bunch of Twitch streamers, is that they have a really hard time, like talking to their parents or talking to relatives, and that Thanksgiving dinner that's always so awkward, where you've got like the doctor over there, and you got some guy going to school over there, and then it gets around to you, and it's like, so what do you do? And it's like, oh, I broadcast on the internet about video games. So that always brings out a lot of really kind of like downcast eyes sometimes, which I think is really kind of unfair.
Yeah. Well, if that's all you have to say there, my next question here I have, are your videos hard or easy to produce? And if you had like an actual like hard one, what was the most difficult one to make?
Okay, so do I find my videos hard to produce?
Yes.
No, I don't find them hard to produce, but I think that's also because I have a little bit of a background on that, because I'm an e-tech major, or a film major, so I have a lot of prior experience with various editing softwares and kind of like how they work and stuff. And if you learn one editing software, you've kind of learned them all. So I mean, I've got experience with like well, I started out on Windows Movie Maker like 10 years ago, and then eventually I was like, I want to actually edit something for real. And so I got an internship where they taught me how to edit on Final Cut Pro, and then I taught myself how to do Adobe Premiere, and then I've been teaching myself Adobe Audition and Adobe After Effects and Photoshop since then. So I don't find my videos difficult to produce, but then again, I mean, if someone who's never touched an editing software before, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what any of these buttons do. I've got like a production schedule set up for myself that extends all the way into next year. So my hardest video that I'm had to work on so far is I'm doing a Five Nights at Freddy's series, and I'm working on part 3 right now, and that one's difficult only because my capture shorted out halfway through the recording of the episode, and I got the entire recording session, but it chopped itself up into like multiple files, and so and all the audio got chopped up as well, so I have like 6 different files of video and audio and game audio in like various spots, so I'm gonna have to bring all that into the editor and just really figure out the jigsaw puzzle on that one. I'm not really looking forward to working on that one because that one's just gonna be aggravating.
Which video editor do you use the most?
Right now I'm using Adobe Premiere.
Oh, okay. So
and I use Audacity to edit my audio. The capture card, I'm actually transitioning over into using Audition. I know how to use Audacity for what I need to do, but I know Audition can do the exact same thing. I just need to essentially just translate the skills over to Audition, because Audition and Premiere have this really cool thing to where I can edit audio in the Premiere timeline in Audition without having to export the audio from Premiere. It'll just take it right into Audition, and any changes that I make in Audition will make the changes in the Premiere timeline.
Alright, so our last couple of questions here. We have you ever had a hard decision to make regarding your channel?
Have I had to make any hard choices
in
regards to my channel?
Or any of your channels?
I guess, like, on my old channel, I had the hard choice of, like, stopping for a little while because I got really kind of down about it, just because, I had a whole lot of stuff happen, and, I don't want to say, like, get in the way of, because that implies that my channel was more important than the other stuff that was happening, but, anyway, I had to shift my focus to take care of the more important things, and I guess the hard decision was to just kind of like, let that go for a little bit, and then eventually a little while turned into a long while, and then the last video that I uploaded on my old channel was like in the beginning of July of 2013, and so here we are, like, in almost a little over a year later in September, and I'm like, well, I could go back to try to, work on that channel again, or I could just get a completely fresh start and just start over, and I'm like, I think I'll just do that. That was kind of a hard decision, I guess. It's just the decision on whether or not to go back to the old channel or just start fresh. Also, I didn't really like the name on my old channel anyway, so that gave me a good chance to change my name.
Yeah. Well, alright, so our next question is, would you describe yourself as a hardcore, casual, or, I guess, neither kind of gamer?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and just say neither, because I guess neither, but leaning a little bit more towards core gaming. Just I can definitely see and appreciate the merits on both casual games and hardcore games. So I guess I'll just say neither, because I mean, I'll play Clash of Clans on my phone when I'm like out and about and I'm bored, and I mean that's really a casual game.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home and I really want to sit down and like really get into a game, I'm probably not going to play Wii Bowling. but I'll probably play something like Destiny, you know.
Alright. And for our final question, what game series is your favorite?
Oh man, what game series is my favorite? That's a hard question.
Yep.
What game series is my favorite? I'm gonna have to go with. I guess I just have to go with Zelda as my favorite because it's, there's a lot of variety in it, and it's just really accessible, and I can just pick it up and just like play Majora's Mask over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I haven't actually played Majora's Mask yet.
Really? Okay, now if you were to ask me like what is my favorite game of all time, I would say Majora's Mask. That game is awesome.
Why is it your favorite?
Why is it my favorite? Oh man, okay. Majora's Mask was like the first game where NPCs actually did something. At least that I played. And the thing that sold Majora's Mask for me was I know I haven't played it, but if you want to check it out, it's really cool. It's the cafe. It's Cafe's Mask.
Oh, like Romani's Mask, I think.
No. It's not. The Romani's Mask is something totally different. That's how you get into the milk bar. But it's the whole quest line that gives you like the Cafe's Mask, the postman's hat, and it leads up into getting the couple's mask. And it's basically just like you're helping this couple who is about to get married, and then Skull Kid turned the guy into a child, and he went into hiding. And it's really crazy because that was one of the first games that I ever played where like an NPC would tell you, "Hey, I need your help with something. Meet me in the kitchen at 11:30 p.m. tonight." And Majora's Mask has an actual in-game clock, and so at 11:30 on that night, that NPC would be walking to the kitchen to talk to you. And I just thought that just kind of like blew my little mind.
Yeah, NPCs in that game are pretty cool. But that's all we have time for in this little interview. I'd like to thank you for being here.
Absolutely, man.
Alright, so goodbye everyone.